and I'm probably more pessimistic than Lynn. I'm fairly sure that we're in for a hard time financially. That the austerity model is purely ideological. 2/3 of economists say it was a bad idea, and yet we're still going down that route with the major parties. If you look at the economic, we won't go down that route, but what we've basically created is a completely new problem built on the old problem. So we've pumped money into the economy to prop up the organisations and the individuals who caused the problem, and
the banks. The banks and the corporations.
I'm skirting around that issue, but that's absolutely right. That the people who've created the problem have taken the money from quantitative easing, an astonishing figure, and just inflated their bonuses and their share value. And meanwhile, real incomes have fallen by 20%. So the top 100 executives in the FTSE, 14% pay rise, while the rest of us have suffered a 20% drop in real wages. The self-employed, a lot more self-employed now, but something like 80% live on poverty wages. And that's not the way it should be. It needs to change. We all know that. And the only way it's going to change is with what we're proposing.
I mean, if people have a network locally and they want to become self-employed, chances are they'll have a better base for doing that, won't they? The cuts are benighted. The cuts are not a good idea, because what they do is they impoverish the community, and they reduce the quality of life for everyone. It's been proven in studies that the more inequality that you have, the worse the whole society is, even for the better off. There's more drug use, there's more prostitution, there's more crime, and in every parameter, suicides, you name it, it gets worse with the more inequality. What the Green Party stands for is a fair deal for all. For the common good, that's what we want to see.
Yeah, but that's very interesting, because one of the things that the Green Party are accused of is ideology. But the interesting thing is that if you actually look at the way that this country has been run for the last few decades, but particularly in this Parliament, that's the ideology. Because we've got to a stage where even the bastions of capitalism like IMF and OECD and London School of Economics, they're all saying that inequality is really, really bad for business. So if you're all about profits and yet you're creating this inequality, you're actually causing problems for your profit. It just does not make rational sense, but it's not a rational decision. If we create that inequality, it means that those communities are more vulnerable to any banking shocks we have. Climate change, we tend to not talk about climate change.
We do. Well, the Green Party talks about climate change, and it is an urgent issue. Without wanting to become scary, I saw a poster on the computer the other day. It says, just what is it about catastrophic and irreversible that you don't understand? So what the Green Party does is grasp this nettle. We really have to make changes, and quite honestly, we have to make them quite quickly.
Yes.
And so the Green Party is prepared to think about that, to talk about that, and to help each other in making those changes, because we're all involved. We're all struggling with this. We're all part of the problem. You, me, we all are. And we've got to help each other to make these necessary changes.